What if the reason you wake up 2 or 3 times each night to use the bathroom has less to do with age and more to do with the hidden timing system inside your body? Many people assume frequent nighttime urination is an unavoidable part of getting older, but science shows that your kidneys and bladder actually follow a daily rhythm, controlled by special clock genes that determine when your body filters fluids most efficiently. Understanding this rhythm means you can make small changes in how much and when you drink during the day, which can dramatically reduce the number of times you wake up at night. Researchers have found that even the speed at which you drink sipping slowly versus gulping quickly can affect how your body handles fluids. In this video, we will explore Dr. Mohit Khera's evidence-based advice on hydration timing, evening habits, and practical strategies that may help you sleep through the night with fewer interruptions. Stay with me until the end, because the solutions are simpler and more encouraging than you might expect. Understanding the biology of the kidneys and circadian rhythm. The kidneys are remarkable organs that not only filter waste from the blood, but also carefully regulate how much fluid your body keeps or releases. Their work is strongly influenced by what scientists call the circadian rhythm, which is the body's internal clock that coordinates many biological processes over a 24-hour cycle. Studies have shown that special clock genes are active in kidney cells, and these genes control how effectively the kidneys filter fluids and release hormones such as vasopressin. Also known as the antidiuretic hormone, vasopressin helps the body hold on to water when it is needed, so the balance of this hormone changes naturally depending on the time of day. In the first 10 hours after waking, the kidneys are at their most active state, filtering blood quickly and managing fluids with high efficiency. This is the time when drinking water supports the body best, because the kidneys can easily process and adjust fluid levels. After that window, their activity begins to slow down, and while they still filter blood, the pace is less effective, which is actually protective for sleep. If your kidneys continued to work at full speed during the night, your bladder would fill more quickly, and you would be forced to wake up several times to urinate. Research on circadian rhythms in kidney function confirms that urine production and concentration vary by time of day, and this natural cycle explains why fluid intake late in the evening is more likely to disturb sleep. Many people are surprised to learn that the problem is not only how much water they drink, but when they drink it, by respecting the kidney's rhythm. You can reduce nighttime trips to the bathroom without having to restrict fluids completely. This perspective is encouraging because it shows that frequent nighttime urination is often linked to timing rather than a permanent condition. Instead of feeling frustrated, you can see your body as following a natural design that you can work with. In the next section, we will look at how drinking enough water earlier in the day creates the foundation for better hydration and more peaceful nights. Habit 1. Hydrate enough. During the day. One of the most common mistakes people make is drinking too little water during the day and then trying to make up for it in the evening. This habit often leads to excessive thirst at night, which in turn causes larger fluid intake before bed and more nighttime trips to the bathroom. Dr. Khera emphasizes that the body functions best when hydration is spread throughout the day, with steady and sufficient intake during the hours when the kidneys are most efficient. Scientific reviews on hydration and circadian biology support this advice, showing that fluid balance aligns naturally with kidney activity earlier in the day. A practical guideline is to consume about 8 ounces, or 240 milliliters, of fluid per hour for the first 10 hours after waking. If someone wakes at 7 in the morning, this means aiming for regular hydration between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m., giving the kidneys plenty of opportunity to filter fluids when they are at their peak performance. By following this rhythm, the body stays hydrated, and there is less need to drink large amounts in the evening. This not only reduces strain on the bladder at night, but also supports overall energy, digestion, and even cognitive performance during the day. To make this routine easier, you can think of hydration as small, consistent steps rather than a single large effort. Carrying a refillable water bottle or setting gentle reminders on your phone can help maintain the habit without feeling forced. People often notice that when they hydrate evenly, They no longer experience the dry mouth or strong evening thirst that once pushed them to drink heavily at night. Clinical observations confirm that proper daytime hydration also supports better blood pressure control and improved kidney function over time. It is important to recognize that hydration does not mean water alone. Herbal teas, soups, or water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables also contribute to fluid balance, and these options may be more enjoyable for some people. The key is to build a pattern of steady intake rather than leaving the body underhydrated for many hours. By giving your kidneys what they need during their most active period, you reduce the burden on your body in the evening and allow the night to be reserved for rest. This habit can feel surprisingly empowering because it shifts the focus from restriction at night to nourishment during the day. Instead of worrying about avoiding fluids altogether, you are simply timing them more wisely, which feels kinder and more natural. Many older adults who practice this routine notice that not only do they sleep better, but they also feel more alert and energetic throughout the day. In the next part, we will look more closely at why reducing fluid intake in the evening, once you are already well hydrated, can make such a profound difference for nighttime comfort and sleep quality. Habit 2. Reduce fluid intake in the evening. Once your body has received enough hydration during the day, the next important step is learning how to gently reduce fluid intake in the evening. Many people continue to drink large amounts of water, tea, or other beverages after dinner, thinking that this is healthy or that it will make up for drinking too little earlier in the day. In reality, when the kidneys are already slowing down their filtration activity after about 10 hours of wakefulness, extra fluid at night is much more likely to be stored in the bladder and then wake you up. Clinical research on nocturia, the medical term for frequent nighttime urination, consistently shows that evening fluid restriction is one of the most effective and simplest strategies to reduce sleep interruptions. A useful guideline suggested by Dr. Kara is to limit fluids to about 5 to 8 ounces, or roughly 1 small glass, after that 10-hour point and before bedtime. This does not mean you should force yourself to feel dehydrated, but rather that if you have met your hydration goals earlier in the day, you will naturally need far less as the evening progresses. If you feel very thirsty at night, it may be a sign that you underhydrated earlier, or that the environment is unusually warm, in which case a little more water is appropriate. What matters most is that evening fluid is kept modest and intentional, allowing your body to rest instead of being pushed into excess nighttime urination. Studies have also demonstrated that the timing of fluid intake is just as important as total volume. For example, research in sleep medicine has shown that individuals who concentrate their drinking late in the day are more likely to experience fragmented sleep, while those who shift intake earlier report fewer awakenings. This reflects the natural decline of kidney activity at night and the body's protective mechanism to conserve water while you are asleep. By respecting this rhythm, you are not depriving yourself, but aligning with a pattern that your body has followed for thousands of years. It can help to make small lifestyle adjustments that encourage this change. Enjoying most of your tea, coffee, or water earlier in the afternoon, and setting a personal hydration cutoff a couple of hours before bedtime, can significantly reduce nighttime bathroom trips. If you enjoy warm drinks as part of your evening routine, consider lighter alternatives such as a few sips of caffeine-free herbal tea rather than a large mug. Some people also find it helpful to keep a very small glass of water by the bedside, not to drink automatically, but only if they wake with genuine thirst. These gentle strategies create a balance between comfort and practicality, ensuring you stay hydrated without disrupting your rest. Reducing evening fluids also supports other aspects of health. Less bathroom activity at night means a greater chance of maintaining deep, restorative sleep, which is critical for memory, cardiovascular health, and mood stability. Studies have shown that people who sleep with fewer interruptions enjoy better morning energy and lower risks of daytime fatigue or falls, especially in older adults. This highlights how something as simple as adjusting evening drinking habits can have wide-ranging effects on overall well-being. What is encouraging about this habit is that it does not require strict rules or complicated routines. It is about listening to your body, trusting the hydration you provided during the day, and giving yourself permission to ease back in the evening. Many older adults who adopt this practice report not only sleeping more soundly, but also feeling more in control of their nights. In the next section, we will explore another subtle yet powerful factor: the speed at which you drink fluids, and how something as simple as sipping versus gulping can influence how your body processes water and how restful your sleep becomes. Habit 3. Control the pace of drinking. When most people think about hydration, they naturally focus on how much water they drink, but very few consider how quickly they drink it. Yet research has shown that the rate of fluid intake can influence how the stomach, kidneys, and bladder respond. Inside the digestive tract and urinary system, there are special pressure-sensitive sensors, sometimes called mechanoreceptors, that detect stretching when fluid enters quickly. If you gulp down a large amount of water at once, these sensors are triggered strongly, and the body often responds by moving that water rapidly toward the bladder, leading to quicker and more urgent urination. On the other hand, when fluids are taken in slowly, the body distributes them more evenly into tissues, and the kidneys have more time to balance salts and hormones such as vasopressin, which helps retain water more effectively. This difference in pace can have a significant impact on nighttime comfort. During the day, it is generally fine to drink at the speed that feels natural to you. Whether that means sipping throughout the morning or enjoying a large glass after a walk, the kidneys are at their most efficient earlier in the day, so they can easily handle the surge from faster drinking. But in the evening, when kidney activity slows down and the body is preparing for rest, drinking too quickly increases the chance that fluid will accumulate in the bladder and wake you up in the night. Studies in hydration physiology confirm that slower intake in the hours before sleep results in lower urine volume and fewer nocturnal awakenings. One way to put this into practice is to create a simple evening ritual of sipping small amounts instead of pouring and finishing a full glass before bed. Imagine taking 2 or 3 gentle sips of water if your throat feels dry, rather than automatically emptying a large cup. This small change helps satisfy thirst while minimizing the signal for your bladder to fill quickly. For many people, this adjustment feels more comfortable and less disruptive than trying to eliminate evening fluids entirely. It is not about denial or restriction, but about giving your body time to integrate water more gradually. It is also helpful to be mindful of other beverages besides water. Drinking juice, tea, or especially alcohol quickly in the evening can have even stronger diuretic effects, because they either contain sugars or substances that stimulate urination. Choosing to sip slowly allows your kidneys to process these drinks in a gentler way, and if possible, limiting such beverages close to bedtime will further reduce nighttime interruptions. Clinical observations often note that even patients who did not change the total volume they drank but simply slowed their pace in the evening reported more restful sleep and less urgency at night. What makes this habit particularly encouraging is how easy it is to try. You do not need new equipment or strict rules, only the awareness that your body responds differently depending on pace. By slowing down in the evening, you allow your kidneys and bladder to work with more balance, which supports uninterrupted rest. Many older adults find that when they practice sipping rather than gulping after dinner, they notice fewer bathroom trips within just a few nights. This perspective reminds us that improving sleep does not always require drastic measures, but often simple, thoughtful changes in daily patterns. Paying attention not only to how much you drink, but also to how quickly you drink gives you another tool for supporting your health and comfort. In the next section, we will bring together these habits into a practical daily routine, offering clear steps that make it easier to care for your hydration needs while protecting your nights for deeper, more peaceful sleep. Daily practical guidelines. Putting these habits into practice can feel easier when you think of them as part of a daily rhythm, rather than strict rules. Your kidneys are most efficient during the first 10 hours after waking, which makes this period the best time to drink most of your fluids. A simple approach is to spread your intake across the morning and afternoon, aiming for steady hydration rather than long gaps followed by large amounts at once. For example, having a glass of water with breakfast, another mid-morning, And continuing with small amounts each hour until late afternoon helps your body stay balanced without creating an overload later in the day. Research in hydration science confirms that distributing water evenly throughout the day improves fluid absorption and reduces strain on both the kidneys and bladder. After the late afternoon, begin gently tapering your intake so that by the time you are ready to sleep, your bladder is not forced to process excess fluid. A useful guideline is to keep evening fluids to no more than 5 to 8 ounces in total, or about 1 small glass, unless you are unusually thirsty due to heat or exercise. If you enjoy warm drinks as part of your evening ritual, consider switching to a smaller serving of caffeine-free herbal tea and sip it slowly. This honors the body's natural slowdown in kidney activity while still meeting the comfort of thirst. Clinical observations in older adults show that those who adopt evening reduction strategies often report more continuous sleep and fewer awakenings, which in turn supports better mood and alertness the following day. In addition to water, it is important to consider foods and beverages that can influence hydration. Salty meals eaten late at night can increase thirst and fluid retention, making you more likely to drink extra before bed. Caffeinated drinks in the afternoon or evening act as mild diuretics, stimulating the kidneys and further disturbing rest, by keeping salt intake moderate at dinner and avoiding caffeine later in the day. You give your body the best chance to settle into a natural, undisturbed rhythm of sleep. Studies on dietary patterns and sleep support these adjustments, showing that modest evening meals with limited sodium contribute to fewer nighttime bathroom trips. One practical tool many people find helpful is observing the color of their urine during the day. Pale yellow usually indicates healthy hydration, while darker shades may suggest that more fluids are needed earlier in the day. This simple observation allows you to adjust your intake without waiting until the evening, when drinking large amounts would be less effective. It also creates a sense of partnership with your body, where you are responding to its signals rather than following rigid instructions. Over time, this habit builds awareness and confidence in managing both hydration and sleep quality. Adopting these daily practices does not mean giving up enjoyment or comfort, but rather aligning your habits with the way your body naturally works. Many older adults who have tried these approaches describe feeling not only more rested at night, but also more energized and steady during the day. When your kidneys, bladder, and internal clock are supported by the right timing of fluids and food, the entire system functions more smoothly. These changes are simple enough to try immediately and flexible enough to adjust to your lifestyle. The most encouraging part is that improvement often comes quickly, within just a week of shifting fluids earlier in the day, limiting evening amounts, and paying attention to pace. Many people notice fewer nighttime awakenings and deeper, more restorative sleep. Instead of seeing nighttime urination as an unavoidable burden of aging, you can recognize it as a pattern that responds to thoughtful choices. In the next section, we will reflect on these habits together, offering a summary and a gentle reminder that small, steady actions can create lasting comfort and freedom during the night. As we come to the end of this discussion, it is clear that reducing nighttime urination is not about restriction or rigid rules, but about understanding and supporting the natural rhythms of your body. We have learned that the kidneys are most effective during the first 10 hours after waking, which is why drinking enough fluids early in the day gives your body the best chance to process them efficiently. We also explored how reducing fluid intake in the evening allows the bladder to rest, and how slowing down the pace of drinking can make an important difference in how water is absorbed and released. These habits may seem small, yet, when combined, they can significantly improve the quality of your sleep and the energy you feel each morning. Clinical research supports the idea that hydration timing, evening reduction, and slower drinking patterns all contribute to fewer awakenings at night. More importantly, these strategies remind us that we are not helpless in the face of aging, but that we can make gentle adjustments to work with our biology rather than against it. Even 1 extra hour of undisturbed rest can improve memory, mood, and overall well-being. It is encouraging to know that these changes do not require expensive treatments or dramatic sacrifices. They are simple, practical steps that can be tried right away. And many people begin to notice improvements within a short time. By practicing steady hydration during the day, limiting excess fluids in the evening, and sipping slowly at night, you can support your body in achieving the balance it naturally seeks. So as you reflect on your own habits, consider taking one step this week and see how it affects your nights. Small changes often lead to meaningful results, and you may be surprised at how much better you feel with deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Thank you for spending this time with me, and if you found these insights helpful, I encourage you to share your experience in the comments, subscribe to stay connected, and continue this journey of caring for your health with kindness and knowledge.